Hi there, Ronnie here, coming at you with a slightly different video. I did something similar last year. It's my first video of 2022. I hope everyone had a nice Christmas and New Year. And I hope that that everyone has a peaceful and prosperous and enjoyable 2022. I hope it's better than the last couple of years. But as I did last year, I'm going to show off the Christmas presents that I got. And I do this not because I want to go, look what I got. None of that. I want to show off the presents that I got because I want to do this video as a thank you to the people who gave me presents. Because that's the important part of this for me, is saying thank you to the wonderful people who sent me presents. So let us begin. The majority, being a guy now who's 50, I got a fair amount of deodorant, aftershave, and things like that. And I would show those, but quite frankly, once you've seen one Lynx box set, you've seen them all. And aftershave is lovely, and it's now sitting in my bathroom. And I got chocolates and stuff, which were, well, Christmas was 2 weeks ago, and I can tell you, I no longer have those chocolates. They were eaten. Not all in one go, but over the course of a few days, they were snacked upon. But I got other stuff as well. So, from my mum, she got me, lots of smelly stuff. But she also got me, very nicely, pajamas. Marvel pajamas. Comic book nut that I am. I was a little worried when I got these because it's quite thin material. I was a little worried that they wouldn't be particularly warm. Yes, they are. They're very warm, indeed. And they're quite lovely. From my nephew, Andy, and his wife, Lizzie, I got some books. Mostly it has to be said, Andy has a wonderful sort of sense of humour, and he knows that I've got a sense of humour as well. So he got me Born in the 70s, which is a whole book about what the 70s were like. A book of over 50s jokes. Which is all about basically taking the mickey out yourself for your age. After 50, feeling fit is a sure sign that something is drastically wrong. Yeah, 50 is the time to get up and go before everything else does. Lots of commentary. And he also got me this, which is the Alan Turing Codebreakers puzzle book. Now, I've flipped through a couple of these, and I have to say, they're pretty. I mean, it's going to take me some doing to get through the puzzles in this, and I don't like cheating, so I'm not looking on the back. But they're amazing. That puzzle book alone is going to keep me going for a while. They're amazing. There are lots of enjoyment to have in those. and the joke book and everything. Yeah, I really like them. Um, from my daughter Saffron, I have to say, this is where we get special. Saffron is quite sort of has a good line in arts and crafts, far more than her diddly old dad. And she made me, well, firstly, from a sort of previous set of dice that she'd made, that she wasn't particularly happy about, she has created them into this. She's put a D6 on a keychain for me, which is wonderful. I love it. I like that very much. But creme de la creme. In this wonderful sort of old jar, which has got looks like cogwheels in amber and a lovely lid, which obviously says Dad, but it's got lots of cogwheels and sort of clock face bits and so on to give it that real steampunk aesthetic. My daughter knows me so well. She made me dice, a whole set of 7 dice. There's a 7 just as an example. And there's little cogs and so on and bits and bobs inside, just to get again, just to add to that steampunk aesthetic. Let's get another one out. Another example of it there. These are absolutely gorgeous. I love them. They're absolutely amazing, and they have been used. I was using them for Call of Cthulhu the other night, and will continue to use them. I absolutely adore these. They're not going in a bag. They're not going in my bag. They're going to stay inside that case because I want to keep them separate so that I can actually show them off to people without having to go hunting them in my bag. So they're going to stay in that display jar permanently because I adore them. Absolutely love these. Gamer that I am, I got a few games. First one I got from my friend Stephen, and this is Heroes of Terranoth. Terranoth is a sort of generic fantasy campaign setting that Fantasy Flight use for some of their games, such as Descent, and I think Runebound as well. But this is a cooperative card game of questing, and I really want to play this. A little bit at the back. I really want to play this. I don't have many Fantasy Flight games because, quite frankly, they can be a bit much on the pocket. But the ones I do have, I really like, and I am looking forward to playing this very much. I will do a review overview when I do my fantasy games, and this will be part of that review overview of that. Looking forward to it. Really happy to have gotten it. Very unexpected, and yeah, really want to play it. From Jason and Becky. What are the worlds? The new wave. Now, when Jason and Becky get married, they're doing this huge mega game thing. Huge mega game thing. Based on War of the Worlds. A kind of what would happen if the Martians came back, which, funnily enough, is the setting for this. This is a 2-player deck building game, with one side playing the British because it is set in England again. Well, Britain, but mostly England, that has to be said. It looks like Scotland's been kicked. And one side playing Martians. It looked really, really interesting. Grey Fox is a company. I have a couple of their games already. Particularly, I have Champions of Midgard, which I really, really like from them. So I'm very, very. I like their games very much. So I'm very, very interested in playing this, especially as I found that the deck builders I do like, and they're not automatic with me, but the deck builders I tend to like most are ones where there's a bit more sort of combat, or there's more of a competitive edge with other players where you really feel that you're getting somewhere. Because I have played deck builders which are just dry and boring, as dull as anything, and I'm not a particular fan. This, on the other hand, definitely. Um, Jason and Becky were so impressed with the game, they got a copy for themselves, and they've played it a couple of times, and they've said it's really good. So I'm looking forward to playing it. From Fiona and Maxine, from Kirsty and Phil, from Alan and Josie, and from Caroline and Leonie, I got a lot of Amazon vouchers. And with those Amazon vouchers, I went buying. Firstly, I bought myself this, which is an HDMI splitter. I have the TV I got from Fiona. She got a bigger TV, so she gave me her older one, and it's lovely and it works and it's brilliant. But it only has two HDMI sockets in the back, and I have more than two items requiring HDMI, so it's been plug out, plug in, plug out, plug in, pain in the backside. This now means I can plug in everything in the one go, and I don't have to plug. All I have to do is press a button and switch between. Long overdue, actually. I've been wanting to get one of these for ages, and they are fairly cheap. And I was sitting there, and because of, I just decided, yeah, let's get it now. Let's do it now. So I've got one. When I was down in Northampton, we played a lot of games, and I mean a lot of games. Chief among them, Twilight Imperium. But we played a lot of other games as well. And with the sheer amount of vouchers I got, I was looking at maybe getting one big game. But then it came down to what big game. As I've said before, there'd be no point in me buying Twilight Imperium. I simply don't have room for it in terms of playing it. And the same would be the case for Eclipse. I had thought about maybe getting Command and Colors Napoleonic, but I ended up settling on a couple of games that we did play whilst I was down in Northampton, and I was very taken with them. First one, which is very much a lighter game, is this one, which is Flamme Rouge, which is a cycle racing game, if you hadn't figured that out. This is a lovely wee game. There's a lot of tactics involved, a bit of luck. But I was very taken with it. There is an expansion for this which we were using down in Northampton called Peloton, which adds some new tiles and adds a couple of you can get more players. And I'm tempted to get that expansion purely on that basis. Because it would allow for more players and get bigger. You can get bigger games on, which I like the idea of. But even the base game is fun. and I'm looking forward to playing it very, very much. The other one is Terraforming Mars. I've been looking at this for a while, and I was very close to getting it myself, and then I got the option to buy it for nothing, essentially, because of the vouchers. So I picked it up. I loved playing this. Again, Becky and Jason have the expansions on top of it, so I was playing the full game rather than just the base. And I really enjoyed it. When you get right down to it, it's an engine builder, and it's a mechanic I understand and grasp. And because of that, I was enjoying playing the game very much. And I was, I don't know if close to winning is the right term. If I'd done one thing earlier before I got blocked out of doing it, if I'd gotten one thing, I think the scores would have been a lot closer. They were pretty close anyway, but I think it could have got a lot closer. I was very, very close. I might have just pipped second if I'd put in for one of the awards, and I would have got the award, which would have given me more points. But it's a really good game. Will I buy the expansions? Unlike Flamme Rouge, I'm not rushing to buy the expansions for this one. I will probably get them in the fullness of time, but I'm not rushing for it because I think there's enough in the base game to keep me going for now, and I might add to it later on. But I'm really, really happy to have that. Really happy to have that. And then this morning, I got a late gift from Samantha and Ken, who basically sort of sent out presents. But this is gorgeous. It is a fully wooden, extremely solid, generic Games Master screen. Essentially, you put your Games Master screen in front of you. Obviously, it'll be the other way around. The players will see that, and you will have on that side all your notes and charts and tables and so on, and you clip them up. You put them in there, and then you hold them down. You clip them in there. This is absolutely gorgeous. It's solid as hell as well. A few of my RPGs I do have dedicated GM screens for, but the two that I use most, which is Savage Worlds and Castle Falkenstein, do not have dedicated. Well, I know that the latest edition of Savage Worlds does have its own dedicated screen, but I don't have that. I have the previous edition, which doesn't. I did have a generic GM screen, but it's fallen apart to the point where it can barely stand up. This is absolutely just the right gift at the right time. And I'm very, very happy about it. Oh my god. It's really nice. Really, really beautiful. Thank you so much. As I said at the start, I'm not showing off these presents because I want to sort of rub it in people's faces that I got this and I got this and I got this, and it's not about materialism. I'm just extremely surprised and I feel extremely blessed. Um, Nature of my illness is that there are times when I don't feel that I'm worthy of anything, or I feel very down upon myself and frustrated and sort of hate myself and so on. And it's not about the size of gift, it's not about the price of gift. It's the fact that people took the time and actually thought about me and thought positive of me. And I can look at these things and they are reminders of that positive energy. They're reminders that people think of me in a positive way. And when I'm feeling sort of low at myself, I can look at these things and remind myself of that. And that's why they're important. So yes, I do say thank you to my mum. I do say thank you to my daughter Saffron, who just those dice are excellent. Um, I do say thank you to Stephen. I do say thank you to Jason and Becky. I do say thank you to Andy and Lizzie. I do say thank you to Fiona and Maxine. I say thank you to Alan and Josie. I say thank you to Kirsty and Phil. I say thank you to Caroline and Leonie. I say thank you to Samantha and Ken. I say thank you to everyone. Because in your way you have shown just reminded me that I am someone, that I am worth the time. And in those darker moments, I can look on these things and just remind myself that other people think better of me than I do myself. So thank you again to Mum. Thank you again to Saffron, to Samantha and Ken, to Andy and Lizzie, to Stevie, to Alan and Josie, to Caroline and Leonie, to Kirsty and Phil, to Fiona and Maxine, to Becky and Jason, to everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much.